No.
What if I have beans?
Oh, okay.
So I found these magic beans. I figured today we're gonna do a history lesson on like history of sex toys. But I figured we would just have some like magic beans to nom on while we're doing it.
Beans. I like the popcorn one.
Oh wait, don't eat that. Oh.
Bobby. Oh.
I'm okay.
You shrink.
Excuse me?
Bobby.
What?
What's happening?
Roll the opening.
Hello!
And welcome back to Puppet History After Dark. I'm Amp.
I'm Mr. Christopher.
And what the hell is... Daddy, what is going on?
I don't know, you tell me.
Well, today we are playing... Well, we're gonna teach about, like, sex toys and sex education, but... we need another person now since I'm over here hosting and you're still playing the game. Daddy, do you have anyone here that we could play with?
I was playing with a puppy last night. I think they're still here. Puppy! Puppy!
Come on in! Come on down! You're the next contestant! Come on!
Hi! Oh my goodness!
Oh, hi! Hello, Paladin. How are you doing?
This is
Hi,
Paladin.
I heard you needed a puppy.
We do, because today we are doing sex toy history.
So are you my new co-host? You're the new co-host.
Hey! Welcome back, everybody, to Puppet History After Dark, where the history sends good vibes and the details are a little fuzzy. Anyway, how are you guys doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
A little fuzzy. Otherwise, well, now today's contestants on our game show are no strangers to sex toys. In fact, I'm sure they know one or two things about good vibrations. Is that correct?
That is correct.
This is not your normal puppet show. In fact, this is a very, very dark, deep, sexual puppet show.
Those are my favorite kind.
Just like last night.
Excuse me? Okay. And on today's Puppet History, we are doing Vibrator history. So that's all things insertable, butt plug, and sex toy. Do you have any questions?
Are they all vibrating?
Not yet, they're not. But today, would you like to see what you're playing for?
I would. What are we playing for?
Well, besides your very own sex toys by Lilo, our sponsor of today's episode, you also are playing for cookies!
Cookies! I love cookies!
Cookies! Oh, not yet, not yet. And I promise these won't turn you into puppets, so there's at least that. Are you ready for the first question, though, today?
You can't taunt Daddy with cookies and not give him cookies.
Watch me. Let's buzz in! Everything's fine. Don't worry. I'm just getting right. Puppetry is very, very complicated. Okay. Paladin, what are you doing over there?
I'm doodling.
Oh, I love that. Okay, well, you get a history point just for being inquisitive and creative.
I'm ahead. I drew a puppy.
Oh, it's so cute. Now, today's story is the definition of good vibrations as we dive into the way sex toys shook up the world as we know it.
Oh.
But to talk about sex toys, we also have to talk about how they were made. More specifically, what they were made of. In fact, question 1. You're taking notes, right?
Yes.
There will be a test.
Taking notes.
Okay, good. Question 1. What was the first dildo historians ever found made of?
Ooh.
No, oh, are you guys just gonna write it down? I mean, I was gonna give you a multiple choice, but...
Yeah, give me multiple choice.
A, rocks. B, animal bones. Or C, wood.
Ooh. I'm gonna...
Okay, are there any questions? Are you guys doing okay over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
You ready?
Give me your answers. Go ahead.
Okay. I went B, bone.
Okay.
I also went with animal bones.
Oh, we got a bunch of B-boys. This is a bit that you guys don't know about, but, you know, it's fun. Would you guys like to find out the answer, though?
Oh my god, so much so.
With the power of puppetry. Woo!
I mean, how could I not choose bones?
Right. You're the new puppy.
I am the new puppy.
I heard that.
Daddy needs a puppy, not...
No. Okay. Oh, ooga chugga.
Ooga chugga.
It is me, a caveman. But and it's kind of the Stone Age, but not quite. And I forgot to pick up mammoth milk on the way home, so now my wife is very upset with me. So I was thinking I might just make her something very special. Can you guess what it'll be?
A dildo?
It will, yes. Oh, wow. Okay, so I'm going to try to find something to make it out. Well, there are some dead animals over there, but that seems very disgusting, and we haven't really figured out agriculture yet because it's still kind of early in the period that I live. Oh, but look what we're surrounded by! Rocks!
Oh gosh.
You both are wrong.
Maybe it's because we were stoned.
Oh, excuse you, sir.
I thought it was gonna be a boner.
Boner.
Wow, this new guest host is actually kind of funny.
I have moments.
Woo!
Do you feel like bone would be easier to manipulate than like stone? You know, you can't like.
The answer will certainly rock your world, or more specifically, siltstone. That's right. The answer was A. And if you're under the impression that ancient people didn't have playthings around, think again. Back in the good old 2005, the BBC reported on a very phallus discovered looking rock in Germany. It was 20 centimeters long and 3 centimeters wide.
Turns out it was from 26,000 BC, the Neolithic era.
And it was the final division of the Stone Age with what we would see now as like an agricultural and development sort of part of history. So this marked the transition in human history from small nomadic bands of hunter-gatherers to large agricultural settlements and early civilization.
Aren't you sure it's not the stone dildo age?
Who's the host here? Other phallic batons of that era were made of ivory, bone, limestone, and even teak, with toys continuing to be made and more materials through history, including leather, wood, jade, silicone, glass, and other forms of rock.
Jade would be expensive.
Well, the Chinese were very fancy. Many millennia later, objects clearly designed as sex toys are still veiled behind euphemistic, tongue-in-cheek marketing, but the history of the modern dildo is longer and bigger than you think. It's a pun. Laugh!
It's gonna be a Chucky situation.
Laugh, damn it! Anyway! Let's follow our old siltstone friend as we vibe to a classic. Everyone walk this way with me, preferably like an Egyptian. As we visit a friend of mine, Cleopatra! Do you guys know Cleopatra?
Not personally.
Oh.
Are you sure?
I mean, I can give you guys some space if you need.
Alexander the Great, right? No, like didn't Alexander the Great and Cleopatra have like this sort of affair thing going on and almost conquer the rest of the world together?
Paladin, you get another point just for being inquisitive. I love that.
I'm so inquisitive.
No more points.
Now, sticking lard, hard, veiny, phallic objects was a pastime for all time, it turns out. And who better to shake things up than a powerful woman as we head into roughly 69 BC? Nice. Like many things through history, Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, and that one urban legend about jerking off causing hair to grow on your palms, which I'm pretty sure, that's not a thing, is it?
I would have the hairiest palms if that were true.
You do jerk off a lot. Anyway, today's titular titillating tale, 2, starts with an urban legend. Now, hopefully your brain isn't too ferocious for knowledge. Get it? Pharaoh?
Ferocious.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, no, you got it, right?
Welcome to my world.
Because today's third question might be a bit of a pyramid scheme.
Oh, Jesus.
An urban legend about how vibrators were first conceived actually started with a good friend of mine, Cleopatra, who was thought to have created the first vibrating sex toy by using what?
Locusts.
Let me give you answers.
Oh, okay.
A.
Rattlesnakes.
I swear to God. A. A platform that she sat on that was shaken by 4 servants in rhythm. B. An insertable piece of metal that acted like a tuning fork. Or C. A gourd filled with bees. Write down your answers.
Ooh. Oh my God, I like all of those answers. I kind of want to
do not get any ideas.
I found...
Okay, let me know when you have your answers.
I got mine.
Daddy?
Mine is getting me buzzing. I'm gonna say a gourd filled with bees.
Okay, Paladin?
I went with platform and 4 servants.
Ooh. Would you guys like to find out the answer?
Yes,
Oh,
please.
yes.
With the magic of puppetry!
I want 4 servants.
Oh, woe is me. Always sexually frustrated because men are terrible, horrible, and no man can properly satisfy me. Well, actually, I mean, this might be turned into an urban legend somewhere down the line. Don't you dare spread misinformation. I wonder. Servant? Yes, my queen. Find me a gourd and fill it with bees. I know you guys could easily carry me, or I could find some sort of weird tuning fork thing, but I just think bees would just be absolutely buzzing. Yes, my queen.
That was mine, points!
We're still doing the show!
Oh, I win.
Here you go, my queen. Just me with my gourd of bees. Well, let me make sure. Listen, everyone listen! Bzzz. You see it? There's bees in there. Bzzz. Oh, okay, well let me just, ooh, hee, ha, ha, ooh.
Now, if she drops that, that's going to be a catastrophe.
Maybe that's her kink.
Or a catastrophe.
I mean, could you imagine putting a gourd of bees in your...
No, but I really like the idea.
No, Daddy, no.
It wasn't for real. It's just some historian said it was a thing, and other people talked about it. But it's a fun story, right?
Yeah, and she was kinky.
She was. In fact, Roman propaganda actually painted Cleopatra as a debaucherous temptress who used her sex appeal as a political weapon. Get it, girl? But did you find that funny?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. You get an extra point for that.
No, you can't give out points willy-nilly.
And to understand ancient sex toy history, you must first understand that we don't always have a direct link to, accurate sources. There's always been this toxic link between women, sex, and even men who were very misogynistic all throughout history. Don't you think?
Oh, definitely.
Now, fast forward to a modern era, and jumping ahead about 1,000 years, we see sex toys in a different light, and being paraded around by doctors who sold them as a health panacea. Let's head to the 1800s. Have you guys ever been to the 1800s?
Not lately.
I have not, but I've heard terrible things.
Oh, really? Like what?
Like plagues.
Well, I love your thirst for knowledge. You get an extra point for that.
Yes!
Which brings us to the popular ideas and the history of vibrators that existed in the 1800s. Now, doctors were thought to have created certain dildo-y objects in the 19th century that were used to actually masturbate women.
See, I do know about this one, actually.
Oh, really? Okay, well, hopefully you get it right then.
Can't wait.
Because with doctors getting hand cramps all over the world, it was only a matter of time until we graced the world with the magical tool known as the vibrator. Ooh.
But wait, there was not electricity. How'd they plug them in?
Did they not have electricity?
They did.
They definitely had electricity.
In 1800?
Yes.
And thank God we had those innovations, or we wouldn't have the fun toys that we actually have today, or the innovations for today's sponsors.
Oh, did somebody say sponsor?
What's your name?
Oh, hello. My name is Lilo, and I'm here to tell you about today's sponsor, Lilo Toys. Well, then, I'll be right back. Boop. And I've come to tell you about the sponsor's story. Lilo is a Swedish designer and lifestyle brand specializing in sexual wellness.
Wow.
In fact, we sent you guys a little package there. Feel free to play with it.
Oh, I am.
Okay. Well, for over a decade, Lilo has been changing the way people all over the world think about personal pleasure and produce some of the most iconic designs for the market today. What would you say so far about my shape? Do you like it?
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah? Well, while we did try to emulate our good friend Cleopatra's sounds that she had back then, we give you a much better feeling now. Now, Lilo is driven by an insatiable curiosity for not only versatility, but cleanliness, and just making sure you feel good. So we have toys for men, women, and everyone in between, whether you're looking for yourself or for a partner. Now, if you want some good vibrations, why not pick up one of me? Ooh. The Smart Wand 2, with a sleek design, steady handle, long-lasting charge, and extra soft silicone. But if the wand's not for you, you might want to try our Hugo! Hey, did somebody say Hugo?
Oh, a horse.
Hello there, boys. I'm Hugo, one of the magic sponsorship puppets from Lilo. Why, the long face is over there. If you're looking for a toy for maybe a partner that's also wireless, you can also get the Hugo. It's a blue one right there in your hand.
Actually, they pair nicely together.
That's a lot of power. Would that be considered bareback or side saddle?
That may be the main event. With 2 motors, one for the prostate and one to stimulate the perineum. Can you guys say perineum?
Perineum.
It's the best hands-free gadget you'll ever buy. The Hugo is a luxurious remote-control prostate massager with offers the world's most explosive orgasms. You might just say that the toy has a real cult following. Clip clop, clip clop. Anyway, I'll leave you guys to the Hugo, and the wand will take us out. Well, he certainly is an interesting guy. Anyway, both of these toys are USB charged, waterproof, and make the best silicone around from Lilo. So why not get that free, discreet shipping, warranty to last, secure payment, and quality assurance with thousands of customer reviews and happy endings. Check out Lilo today, get your own magic wand or Hugo, and choose from one of many of their great toys. So jump on into it and get ready to fuck like rabbits. Foreshadowing.
Wait, there's a rabbit?
Foreshadowing. And go support What's a Safeword by buying from Lilo. Goodbye.
Now, back to the history. In the 19th century, or the 1800s,
To save time and energy, American physician George Taylor actually patented the manipulator. Ooh. In 1869. Nice. And it was a motorized padded table with a hole and throbbing ball in the middle. Absolutely terrifying.
That sounds great.
I was gonna say.
Well, for some people, absolutely. In fact, we wouldn't have had the modern vibrator without the medical ailment that they were created to heal specifically in women. Question 3. What was this ailment actually called? A. Hysteria. B. Disturbia. Or C. Euphoria.
See, now I gotta spell things.
Well, it's not a spelling test, so if you spell it wrong, it's okay.
All right, so I'm gonna go with hysteria
Okay,
because I think the vibrator gave them euphoria.
got it. Okay.
I also went with hysteria and drew a cow.
That's a very lovely drawing. You get an extra point for that. But let's see what the actual answer is through the power of history and puppetry. Woo!
Cows are not hysterical. And if you vibrate a cow, it's just gonna shoot milk everywhere.
Is that a bad thing? It's a milkshake. It's literally a milkshake.
Extra points for puns.
Do you like to be milked?
Oh, yes.
Oh my. Oh man. Oh, it's what a crazy day outside it is. Oh, do you guys hear that?
Nothing.
No.
Help! We need some help out here. We need help. It sounds like there's a bunch of female patients outside. Oh my God. Oh geez, I gotta hide for a second while we continue this bit. Oh, woe is us poor women in history. We went and saw a fortune teller the other day, and they told us about this show that will happen in the future with Zendaya, or is it Zendaya or Zendaya?
Ooh, I don't know. Oof.
Okay, well, I think it's Zendaya. Oh, but she's apparently amazing in it. It's a show called Euphoria. But that's not the answer to the question. And then they said that there would be this amazing artist who did music, and it was Rihanna? Anyway, she wrote this song called, what was that?
Rihanna!
And she wrote this song called Disturbia, and also S&M. We liked both of them. But that's also not the answer to the question. In fact, we are so hysterical right now with hysteria that we need to go see a doctor. The answer was hysteria.
Oh, okay. Oh.
So their answer was to vibrate them? How did they vibrate them?
Very carefully.
So don't quote me on this, but I think I remember seeing that like they also use like butt plugs themselves as like a cure for hysteria or for homosexuality or whatever it may be.
Well, that certainly didn't take on you because I put a butt plug up you last night and you're still a homosexual. Doesn't work.
I'm worth trying again. It's a process.
Woo! History points for you both. The vibrator's original purpose was, foolishly believed, to relieve symptoms of depression and anxiety in women, known as hysteria, which was derived from the Greek word for uterus. The mysterious lady part men obviously think made them crazy. Have I mentioned how misogynistic history was?
Yes.
Thank you. Documentation of hysteria dates back to the 13th century, but it was Sigmund Freud who relegated the disease strictly to women. What an asshole. Before the I mean, he really was. Before the vibrator came into play in the 19th century, doctors would simply finger women on their operating tables called a pelvic massage and just send them on their way.
And it sounds problematic.
Well, very, very, very. I'm not condoning that whatsoever. As a puppet, I need to make sure that's very clear. Consent is not only sexy, but necessary.
Wait, isn't there a finger up your ass right now?
Excuse you, it is not about me. And I'm having a great time. Thank you.
Look, I mean, can you imagine going to your husband saying, hey, I'm still hysterical, so we got to go back to the doctor?
I need to be fingered.
Pamphlets proclaimed the effectiveness against insomnia, paralysis, epilepsy, consumption, sciatica, lumbago, deafness, vomiting, constipation, hemorrhoids, and sore throats. It was even good for the liver.
Wait, how did it cure a sore throat?
I'm actually curious. Do you guys own any vibrators?
I do.
And what do they cure for you?
Hysteria.
Hysteria.
Hysteria. And depression and anxiety.
And my sore throat.
Oh, Jesus. So, we've learned a little bit about dildos and vibrators and how they were used to cure all. Do you think that it worked long term?
For depression, yeah. Anxiety.
Oh, that's a fair point.
I think it worked for euphoria.
Now, when doctors began to realize that around the early 20th century that vibrators were not, in fact, a cure-all, the manufacturers of the devices were left with a problem. Their whole industry was devoted to making these devices, but now there were fewer doctors keen to buy them because they weren't curing anything.
Hey, so what did they do then?
Well, in 1915, unfortunately, the American Medical Association took a stand calling vibrators an industry of delusion and a snare. So manufacturers had to change their approach. What were these marketing schemes they came up with? A. You listen. A. They took up advertising in local newspapers and religious publications. B. They purchased commercials that played before their movies at the time. Or C. They wished on a magical lamp for a time-hopping genie to come in hopes that they could make vibrators a household name and start a conversation about consent and pleasure.
Definitely C.
You don't know that! But also, what do you think?
I'd rub on that lamp.
Oh.
So I'm going to say B, commercials.
Oh, okay.
I think one of the answers was A, magazines.
That is true. Are you guys ready to find out what the answer is?
I sure am.
look, it's us, just a normal crowd of women and other people probably. No, we're not just reused because there's a specific budget and we could only, print and cut out so many people. How are you gentlemen doing today?
Good. You look very familiar.
Well, we have that kind of face, that people just, you run into them. And anyway, we just came from a lovely movie, but we don't know what those commercial things are or even trailers are back here in this time and age.
Oh.
However, there is a newspaper place over here. Oh my God. They're selling these magical vibrating things that apparently are good for you. And while you're still telling us that it's good for our health and there's no medical backing, we're going to believe you because you're an ad. How much fun.
What's that? An ad? Is that A?
Paladin, you are correct! Daddy, unfortunately, no. They did not have any commercials before movies back then, but I appreciate your enthusiasm. You get no points. Vibrator makers changed their approach and started advertising their products as home appliances for men and women of all ages. Ads ran in popular magazines, Christian publications, and even the New York Times.
Did you say Christian publications?
Yeah.
Christian publications, I did. Yeah. Thank God.
I bet they're not running any Lilo ads in Christian publications.
Well, no, not quite. But they were still parading it around as a kind of a cure-all. It just wasn't backed by any doctors now, and it was something you could easily get at home. However, shame was still an important part of history in this, and advertisers certainly seemed to be hitting it. But in 1908, an advert for the vibrator assured readers that it was invented by a woman who knows a woman's needs. And while ads used suggestive language, companies didn't write anything about masturbation in relation to their products. Why do you think that is?
Because you're not allowed to masturbate.
Kinda. This was because at the time masturbation was still widely viewed as shameful, and obscenity laws were always a thing. Obscene articles were not allowed in the U.S. under the Comstock Act.
Oh, yeah.
You remember Comstock, right?
Actually, I do know about this.
Oh.
So, the Comstock Act also had to do with, they filtered out what was allowed even for, movies. So, for example, when Gone with the Wind wanted to use, foul language for the first time in a movie, they had to go around it, the Comstock Act, and specifically say, oh, it's for historical value. But really, he just paid off the Comstock family or whoever was in charge of it so that he could run it in the film. And that was the excuse that they used.
You know what? That sounds about right. And I don't have any actual evidence on that. But you know what? The Comstock Act was actually a thing. And you get a point. You get a point. Well done.
I think you're making it up.
So, to avoid prosecution, vibrator manufacturers adopted the strategy used by contraceptive companies. What was their strategy? A. They tried to market it as a helpful contraceptive, but hinted at sexual uses. B. They continued to emphasize the non-sexual uses as a health aid. Or C. They marketed them as cooking aids and avoided sex completely.
Did you say cooking aid?
I did. Ooh. Have you ever cooked with sex toys, Paladin?
I have not, but I'm willing to learn.
Daddy, what about you? Have you ever cooked with sex toys?
We did. I made some Christmas cookies with sex toys.
What? Oh, wait. Technically, I was there.
I should not be surprised at all.
So I'm going to go with B. They hinted at health.
Okay.
I went with cooking aid because obviously it's been done before.
It is really great. The vibrators are great at beating eggs.
Well, let's find out with the power of theater. Extra, read all about it. There are these newfangled toys that you've probably seen before, and we're going to continue to just market them as, not actual health aids that doctors purport, but it's something that you can use at home that helps you with everything, except cooking. It doesn't help with cooking. And it might not have sexual uses, or it could, but we're not going to talk about it outright because that would just be obscene. Woo.
So it's health, not contraceptive.
Woo. That's correct. It's B. You got a point.
Points!
Woo.
I'm getting legitimate points. You're just getting made up good boy points.
Good boy points are real, sir.
Anyway, turns out if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just market it a different way.
But I would love to see them market vibrators as a contraceptive use. I mean, what would that be? It just jiggles things so much, it just confuses the semen. Just loosens it all up.
I can see that, actually.
Disgusting! So again, openly selling a vibrator for sex was still obscene in the US and the UK, as well as pretty much everywhere else in the world. Obscenity laws were terrible and made for very interesting advertising. Daddy, have you ever heard of obscenity laws? I feel like you've dealt with them in the porn.
I've dealt with obscenity laws forever, and they're still on the books, and they could be implemented at any time. It is basically saying the jurisdiction of the community you're in can make what is obscene and what is not.
Terrifying.
Terrifying.
Ah!
So, fun fact.
Yes.
Although he never directly stated it, the reason why we have Kellogg's cereal the way it is, originally, and so although he never directly advertised it as an anti-masturbation tool, he did quote or use it as a way to say that a plain diet will help boys behave themselves.
What? You get an extra point for that.
Ooh!
But
Okay, yeah.
Tony the Tiger is always horny.
Well, Daddy, you get a furry point, which isn't really good for this competition, but the furries love Tony the Tiger, I know. So
I'll take it.
there you go. Anyway, gynecologist.
Gynecologist.
Okay, thank you. Gynecologist and sex researcher Robert Latow Dickinson noted that one of his patients back then had used an electric vibrator to masturbate, but he didn't make any remark indicating whether he found this unusual. Can you imagine doctors trying to understand why anyone would want to pleasure themselves back then?
I feel like men, even back then, didn't do any research of what women do or how they work.
So true, bestie.
Well, that's because they're hysterical.
Well, they're not. They're not hysterical. Like doctors were kind of like their gears were turning, you know? Like it's like when you have an idea and you're not really sure what to do with that idea, but like there's something there. In fact, as we entered the 1900s, we actually saw some shift in the sex negative narrative.
Oh, well, actually, vibrators weren't in vogue until the 90s, really.
Well, I feel like we might get there eventually. Again, this is a trap. We're traveling through time, Daddy. One step at a time.
Okay, yeah.
I do appreciate this scale we're going back up to. We're coming back up.
Thank you. I researched it myself. Oh, obviously before I turned into a puppet, and it's a little bit different as a puppet, but like I'm still enjoying the show.
Right. Do you still have hands? Like do you have fingers?
Let's not talk about that. Anyway, fast forward to the 1960s, it wasn't until a certain toy hopped into the ring that we saw a shift, as Daddy was saying. As birth control pills became widely available, attitudes towards premarital sex relaxed just a little bit, not tons, and some people began to speak more positively about masturbation. In fact, sex educator and artist Betty Dodson began teaching women-only masturbation workshops in New York City, of all places, in the 1960s. Do you guys know who Betty Dodson is?
I do not, but
No.
I can't wait to hear.
Well,
Do we get to meet her?
Hey, Betty, are you back there?
No.
She is not back here. No, so you will not meet her. But maybe next time on Puppet History Part 2.
You use the group of women you used before.
No, the group of women have already been paid for today's rate, and they are not coming back.
Are they union?
They are. We respect women here at Puppet History.
Good for you guys.
Thank you. Anyway, Dodson proposed that women masturbate as a way to regain sexual self-knowledge, long denied them by society. And why shouldn't she? But how did she propose women do that? A, buy your husband a sex toy. B, have sex for pleasure and not procreation. Or C, forget men, just buy a vibrator.
All right. So I think
Daddy, what did you say?
B, sex for pleasure.
Ooh, okay.
I put C, forget men, because I often do.
Wow. Okay. Well, let's just puppet history. It's just us, a random different group of women.
I thought they went home.
Different group of women, actually. We here at Puppet History, we just have a whole slew of women, and we all believe in educating about sex anyway. You know what we don't have?
A budget.
Well, exactly. So fuck buying things for our husbands who don't care about us. Also, we love sex, but we don't even we're not gonna risk our bodies for procreation. So what we're actually gonna do is forget the man and we're just gonna buy a vibrator. Whee! Oh, geez. Oh,
So
my hair. Okay, yes, go ahead, Daddy.
So was this the beginning of women's liberation?
You are correct. And Daddy, you do get a point for that. But this time around, Paladin gets extra points because he got it right. Good job, Paladin. You are just killing it today. Might I say you're looking great. You're looking great over there, champ. What a good boy. Oh, look at him. Daddy, you're also looking very handsome.
I know.
Very,
Yes.
Thanks.
Cute shirt. Where'd you get it?
This is from the What's the Safeword website.
Oh my
You can get
God.
one of your own. Or, if you're feeling up to it, get you a mug.
So the answer was C. We had a bunch of sea dogs. Well, at least one sea dog, and he got points. Well done, Paladin. Yes, when sex toys came out of the closet, or at least became more openly sold in the 1960s, they were seen as a dangerous device because it gave women choices over their body and pleasure. Exactly. Daddy, I love how you're scared. Bonus points.
I was scared.
it wasn't until a certain toy hopped into the conversation that we really saw leaps and bounds.
I do not know where this is going.
You don't?
No.
Daddy, do you know where this is going?
Was it a rabbit?
Ooh, bonus point for you!
Rabbits. This is where we were going with rabbits.
And it was the year 1984 when we saw masturbation go mainstream, as that was the year the rabbit came out. A revolutionary new toy that eventually reached pop culture acclaim, able to give clitoral and vaginal stimulation at the same time. Now, we saw this sexual liberation, as we mentioned, but the conversation was catapulted not long after by a very popular show that focused on empowered, powerful, smart women and also popularized the home vibrator. What was this show? A, I Love Lucy. B, The Golden Girls. Or C, Sex in the City.
I'm going to say B, Golden Girls.
I might be golden, but I put Sex in the City.
Ah.
Which came first?
Oh, definitely Golden Girls. I know this. I drew a rabbit.
Oh, and what a lovely rabbit. You get an extra point, Paladin. So let's see what the answer to this question is. As Mr. Big continued to jerk me around and entered me with his larger-than-life personality, I couldn't help but wonder if such a toy existed that could provide more pleasure than he ever could. I mean, what if this perfect relationship ever ended? What would I jump to next? As we might enter World War III, I couldn't help but wonder, was it time to focus on World War Me? AKA masturbate by myself with my newfangled toy called the Rabbit? Who knows? Anyway, with my appearance on Sex and the City, the episode, which aired in 1998, it showed Charlotte becoming addicted to a rabbit vibrator. Rabbit meets Charlotte. Oh, what a love story. Woo!
So it was C?
It was C. You
It
got
was
one.
C!
No.
Sex in the City!
That's right, Daddy. How the hell did you get that wrong?
I don't know. I
You
thought
were
Golden
literally
Girls
the person
came
who showed me this
first.
show.
I thought it was first.
How do you get addicted to a rabbit?
Oh, let me show you.
Lots of carrots, probably. And that's all, folks. No, not really. We're almost done, though. We're almost done. Anyway, that's right. Thanks to the appearance of the toy in Sex and the City in 1998, it kind of started this whole pop culture phenomenon and really, really popularized the rabbit. What girl from Sex and the City are you guys?
I have literally never seen an episode of Sex in the City.
Gasp!
Oh my
I've seen
God.
one episode of Golden Girls, though.
Were the
Oh my God.
So are you a Miranda,
Miranda.
a Charlotte,
Charlotte.
a Carrie,
Carrie.
or a Samantha?
Or Samantha.
You're a Samantha.
Am I?
Just so you know, you're Samantha.
Is Samantha blonde too?
Samantha's the blonde sex fiend.
I'm a sex fiend?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, hold on. I get it now.
Do you guys need a room over there? The rabbit actually was popularized by Sex and the City, but came about in Japan. Why was it called the rabbit? A, the creator of the rabbit had an unhealthy love of the animal. B, it was a clever nod to the term fucking like rabbits. Or C, it was illegal to make a penis-shaped phallus.
Ooh, that's I don't know.
This is meant to be hard.
Daddy?
You said Japan, right?
I did. It's good to know you listen sometimes.
I'm gonna say because it was Japan, it was C, illegal to make a penis shape.
I just thought about Japan and how they have weird obsessions with certain things. So the obsession with rabbits seemed to make more sense. I put obsession with rabbits, a weird obsession with rabbits.
Okay. Let's find out the answer with the magic of theater. Oh, hello. It is I, just a Japanese manufacturer that wants to make sex toys because it's lucrative and possibly, you know, just a fun thing to empower women. Anyway, just sitting around here, I wonder what I might see outside as I'm manufacturing things. Nay.
That's not a rabbit.
Oh, look, a horse. I do love horses, but no, I don't know why that's there.
Unless you're hung like one.
I wish, sir, I could make something that was the shape of my actual penis. That might be a little inappropriate. But anyway. Oh, well, I guess I could. Oh, look at those little ears. They're so cute. It's actually illegal to put anything like a penis out in the market, so I'll just make something and call it a rabbit. Woo!
Good for you, Daddy. Good for you.
Points. These are real points. These are made up points over here.
I didn't make up the rules. I did not do this.
And even today, I watch porn sometimes that seems to have come from Japan, and they always pixelate the dick. Why?
Are you talking about like the bar on the penis? No. Like I've seen that a lot in like when Japanese yaoi, for example, I will put a black bar just over like between the head of the penis and the shaft.
Yeah.
And somehow that makes it more appropriate so they can actually publish it online.
It's so strange. Well, it's true though. they are still kind of weird about penises. So anyway, back then, because the toys were made in Japan, the devices were shaped like animals, and they were made in very bright colors to circumvent the country's laws surrounding, again, obscenity laws.
Interesting.
It's
So
always
like,
obscenity laws.
Always.
I was gonna say like, but animals in bright colors, doesn't that have like more leading towards like kid friendly?
Well, I mean, no, hopefully not, but also, I don't know, I'm not necessarily a lawyer.
So why a rabbit?
Well, actually, in 83, the beaver, the kangaroo, and the turtle, they're all now defunct, were something that I actually made. So it wasn't just a rabbit.
I'd be interested in the turtle. What does the turtle do? Is it good?
You know, maybe it just like pops open and it's just like, woo! So it turns out, thanks to feminism, pop culture, and the good old conversations with each other, we now have not only some good vibrations in the households, but we have everyday names like the rabbit to talk about when we talk about sex toys. With sellers like Lilo, especially, considered by Cosmopolitan magazine to be one of the best classic sex toy sites out there, offering not only magic wands, but Hugos. Nerd! Shut up, Hugo. Anyway.
Don't tell your pony to shut up.
Well, he just starts vibrating sometimes, and it's a little annoying, okay?
We do that.
I know. Turn it off.
You have to learn to harness that power.
Horsepower.
Oh my god. So we are now back to present day, it turns out. What a fun little adventure we had. Did you guys enjoy that?
That was pretty fun, but when do I get Big Amp back?
Oh, he'll be back eventually, probably after, the jelly beans wear off. But it would feel almost tone deaf to not talk about the hysterics that actually happened over the COVID crisis. We actually had a very big boom.
I know I've invested way too much during COVID.
You have?
I purchased far too many
Sex toys.
sex things.
There are never too many.
You can tell my husband that. Would you tell my husband that?
Paladin's husband. Get more sex toys. And during COVID alone, we spent so much money on sex toys, with many online manufacturers saying sales were up 80 to 200% during COVID alone.
I might have been closer to like 700 or 800%.
Paladin, how many sex toys do you fucking own? My god. So, turns out the myth of the vibrator and just all the sex negative, harmful ideas we had about women, who, again, we made the vibrators and toys for, ended up then liberating them at the end. What an interesting story and adventure. Did you guys enjoy it?
Yes, thank you, women.
Oh, yes. Thank you, women.
Yet, even today, we still live in a sexually repressive era where double standards are abound. Sex toy advertising is restricted on things like Facebook, Instagram, and other venues, while ads for erectile dysfunction are everywhere. What the fuck?
It's almost like men are prioritized.
And when we have things like teen pregnancy on the rise and, states being very anti-abortion but not really caring about what happens to the actual kids when they're born, definitely sends a weird message. Thoughts?
Yes. Yes.
Anyway, that concludes today's journey. I'm gonna go tally up the points and see who is the history master, and I'll be right back. Woo!
That doesn't count.
This absolutely counts.
No, that doesn't count. No. Let's take off like 20 of those.
You took like 30.
Hey, boys, stop fighting.
Oh, he's back.
I actually didn't really go anywhere. I could hear everything you were saying. What was that about the points being wrong?
He said that they weren't real, and I trust you.
Anyway, our magical algorithm is back, and much like YouTube, no one knows how it works, and it might be a little bit unfair, but you know what? Ours is good, so... Paladin, you win! Woo! Woo! You are the winner. Please do not even look at the hand, but here you go. Here's your prize.
Oh, cookies!
Oh, can I grab
Cookie.
it? Like, do I actually get it?
Yeah, no, come on up here. Get on over here. Yeah, there you go.
I want a cookie.
You can share some with Daddy, too. Just be careful. The beans, remember what the beans did? I don't know what those are going to do, so... eat at your own risk.
Now a warning?
Audience, this has been Puppet History After Dark. Did you guys enjoy yourselves?
Very much.
Oh,
Thank
yes.
you.
Oh, yeah.
No, me too.
I like you that size.
He's very handy.
I appreciate all your puns today. I appreciate you both joining us. Daddy, Paladin, what can the audience do now that the episode is over?
You can leave a comment down below.
Oh, yeah.
You can ring the bell.
Absolutely.
And absolutely subscribe to our channel.
And
Correct.
support women's rights.
Oh, I love that especially. And whether you are buying some sex toys from Lilo, which you should, or not, always have a safe word. And today's safe word, Paladin, is...
Rabbit? It's rabbit.
I love that. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go research for another episode of Puppet History After Dark. I'm gonna leave you guys with a rabbit and those cookies, and we will see y'all next time. Goodbye.
Bye. Bye, Am.
Oh, it's so hungry.
Bye, Am. Amp, are you coming back?
Oh, did you need something?
No, I want the real Amp.
I'll be feedback eventually. The beans, who knows how long they do this to you, you know? It's like when you have a bad burrito, you know? You want a bottom, but you can't right away, so.
Then no cookies for you.
What? Well, holy fuck. Okay, I'm right here. No, I want to. It's so hot. Give me a cookie.
You're a good boy. You're a good boy, cookie.